we should be going. I'll let you know. Takes a couple of seconds to show on your page. And we're live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the SJB Consultancy Facebook Live. First time ever. I'm just about to lose my virginity to Paul Long. Hey, Paul, how's it feel?
Yeah, it feels great. It does feel strange, but it feels really good. And thank you very much for inviting us onto your page. I think we've got a few people looking at the moment, which is good. It's a good sign.
Good. Well, you can see more than I can because I can't get anything to see who's on here or not. So maybe if you don't mind giving them a shout, and then I can say hello.
Andy Overman. I think you'd expect him to be right?
Andy who? Never heard of him. Hi, Andy. Thank you for your support. Thanks for your support today. Webinar went really well, so really grateful for your help. I really appreciate it, so thank you.
Andy says, check you out, Mr. Tech.
I know. If I was that good, I'd be able to see who's talking. Oh, hold on, here we go. Hold on, we'll see. Hi, Andy. Oh, there you go. I knew technology wouldn't work. If I was that good, I'd be able to see Oh, there you go. Right, there you go.
You can see.
Well, I can see there's 16 people on, which is great. So thank you, but I can't see who they are. So
Rav seeing Chris Ellis and John Crane.
Okay, thank you all. So firstly, welcome. What will be really helpful, if you like it, send loads of hearts, share it with all your estate agency buddies. Paul Long is a Facebook expert, connoisseur, specialist. He said I should say guru, but I don't like that word, but as it's you, Paul, guru. So welcome. So Paul is not only an expert specialist in Facebook, he's also been an estate agent as well, or currently is an estate agent, and runs a very successful agency down in Sidcup in Kent. So Paul, for the 17 people on here that may know you or may not know you, tell us a little bit about how you got involved in Facebook and why you think it's important for agents to be involved in Facebook, please.
Yeah, no, definitely. So I probably got involved in Facebook probably around about 5-6 years ago now. Obviously, been involved with the family estate agency business for around about 20-25 years, getting pulled in when I was sort of 15-16 to do the leaflet drops, but soon got involved with the marketing side and saw the potential with Facebook, but like a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of estate agents find it very frustrating because it's a very complicated world, Facebook advertising. But I was determined to really find out how it worked, and that's where I am now. And a lot of the stuff that I do now is pretty much just from making mistakes at the beginning and really going out there to find out how it does work and how it can work correctly for our business, which is very different. I think that was one of the reasons why I did make a lot of mistakes at the beginning, because the things you do for estate agencies and letting agencies, very hyper local, very targeted adverts, where a lot of the Facebook advertising and guides and videos or whatever, the training, they're more on a large scale basis, so very, very different.
Okay, lovely. So we've got a few questions, and thank you for everybody else for coming on. So just please, if you can like it, share it. Let's get some more estate agents on there. Obviously, make sure it's not your competitors, but everybody learns in a different way. So please like it, share it. So first question, Mr. Long. It's like Mastermind, isn't it? or University Challenge. Your starter for 10 is, okay. So I want to know what you suggest in terms of getting social proof. Why is it necessary on Facebook or Google? And when is the right time for a review?
Yeah, I think it's a really good question actually, and I think there's probably two ways to look at social proof. You know, you've got social proof, which is the reviews that you're putting onto platforms like Google, Facebook, or all agents' websites, and then you've got social proof, which you can show onto your Facebook posts, which is like the comments, likes, and shares, which Facebook really does look at as well. But looking at the social the reviews, that side of things. I think it's even more important now to be getting Facebook reviews. You know, people are on Facebook such long periods now, especially right now. So it's very easy for them to now just put the name of the business in the search bar on Facebook and start to, you know, sussing out that business and looking at their reviews. And I think that's going to be, you know, increase all the time. So getting a good mixture of reviews on Facebook and Google, I think, is probably as important now. One of the things that Facebook does do when it decides how far your posts and your adverts show, it will look at a quality score for your account. And Facebook is giving you a score on the quality of your account. And one of the things probably that goes into that is how many reviews you have got. No one really knows how it makes this quality score up, but what we do know, it looks at how often you post, how many people are engaging with your posts, how often you post, the consistency, if you're paying your bills on time. And I can bet that, you know, that quality score probably does include reviews, and it will look at this when deciding, you know, how far to push your posts, where you're putting money behind them, but also probably on an engagement organic basis as well. So yeah, I think really important. The other thing to consider is social proof on posts. So when you see a post going through your news feed and it's got loads of hearts, comments, likes, you're more likely to stop on that post and read it and look at it.
So please like it, comment, share it. Come on, help.
And there's an example here, you know, with this live. If people engage with it, comment, like, and share, it will feed out more. It feeds into the algorithm, which is, you know, it's Facebook's brain, and it works out what it should be pushing out. But with the posts, you know, one of the little ad hack for people, a bit of value from today, is that if you put a post onto your Facebook page and you boost it to say your fans first of all, which we don't normally like people boosting, but this is one of the tricks that you can do. If you boost it to your page fans first of all, they're most likely to like it, comment on it, heart it, because they know you, they like you. You can then actually go into Ads Manager and you can actually choose that post that's on your page, and you can then push it out to a wider audience, which might be people who don't know you. And your post there's more of a chance your post is going to, you know, be looked at and really seen, because it's got so many comments and hearts on it. That all pushed through to your advert in Ads Manager. So little ad hack which people do and works really well there as well.
Okay, so I'm going to go off script, as Andy Overman and Luke Sinclair always know, and seeing your face just to concern you as well. So you talked about posting. Is there a good time that I should be posting? I mean, you talked about a lot of people are obviously at home now. They're spending more time on Facebook. How many times a day should I be posting? And, you know, what sort of content do you think would work today in lockdown? And sorry for making you think on the spot.
No, that's fine. So I think, you know, before it was important to be posting at certain times, but now the Facebook algorithm is very clever at knowing when to push your posts and when not to. So on an organic basis, if you're thinking on a free basis, when should I put posts on Facebook? Bear in mind that only around about 10 to 15% of your page fans will ever see your post without any money behind it. And the reason for that is because Facebook will put personal profile posts before business posts, and Facebook is pretty much sold out of space. So when people are putting stuff on Facebook, it's going to put personal posts before businesses. So what's more important now is perhaps to look at putting a little bit of money behind your most important posts to ensure they are seen. And when you even do that, you don't have to tell Facebook when to show them, you know, days or times. The algorithm is very clever of working out when people are online and who would most likely want to engage with it. So I think it's more important now to consider the quality of your posts rather than consistency. Consistency is important, but Facebook's not going to push anything that's you know, not getting the engagement, it's not quality content. So looking at the quality of your content, putting money behind your most important posts, and then the type of content at the moment. All eyeballs are on Facebook at the moment, so this is a great time to put a bit of money behind your most important posts and really create content which is answering the questions that people have at the moment, and perhaps provide value. And I'm sure you've probably got some ideas on the sort of questions that people could be thinking about at the moment.
Well, I mean, there's, I'm seeing the local heroes. Who are your local heroes? Andy, I love what he's done, getting involved. So doing these Zoom calls with, a local dancer in the area who was self-employed. You've got somebody who's doing it with an art club as well, and streaming these like this. And what that's doing is obviously that's really helping the community, which is really important at this time. It's really helping somebody that is struggling financially. But when we do get out of this, she is so well known that she's already got people saying to her, look, we want to come to your dance class. We want to go to your art club. And asking for people, what's their favorite recipes, and it's just about communicating, or send us in your best rainbow pictures or your best NHS stuff. That's great, and it's great engagement as well. That's obviously really helping.
I think one thing that estate agents often forget is that they already know how to amplify messages, and they're very good at marketing already. Yes, some have had to learn about Zoom and various other things, but as a business, we're very good at amplifying messages, and what you said there about local community, things that people are doing. They probably don't know how to do that, and I think it's a great way where we can amplify the good things that are being done by using social media, the tools we have, our databases, and reaching out to those people. And it seems simple to us, but to them, they wouldn't have a clue, where to start. Where we've got a bit of a head start on that, so I agree totally.
Do you think you can be posting too much content now? And also, when we come out of this, will agents just think, oh, well, I've done my bit and that's it. I don't need to do it. I don't need to do it again. And do you think the community will remember that? That they were helpful at one stage, but now they've gone back to being how they were?
I think we should learn from what we're doing now and continue it. I think it's very powerful. I think often the things that agents are doing now, perhaps they often put aside because they don't think they've got the time, or it's not as important. But it is so powerful, and what people do now, or those agents that are doing things now will be remembered later on. There's no doubt about it. So, like you say, I think continuing that momentum and helping the community. This is a great time to start this, because you're never going to be in this situation again, because at the moment all eyeballs are on Facebook. It's gone from 45 minutes a day, people are on Facebook, to all the time. So you're never going to have that audience or chance again to start this process of becoming the leader or the voice in your community. So I think perfect time to start it, and then enjoy the wave and continue it, because you're not going to get that chance to take that market share and really position yourself.
Okay, so thank you. Next question. So different guides for Facebook to be running. Have you got any suggestions? Because obviously, whilst we're in this, there's going to be people that would love to get vendors, love to get landlords for obviously when we get out of this. Is there any particular guides that you think work very well and your clients are seeing fantastic results on now?
Yeah, definitely. So at the moment, landlords and investors are definitely engaging with all the content we're putting out there, and in particular e-guides. But these e-guides still need to be positioned around the questions that they've got at the moment. And perhaps if you're running adverts already, you need to look at the language and the ad copy that's being used to make sure that it's still relevant to the situation we're in. So some examples, we're putting landlord e-guides out about 9 things every landlord needs to be aware of in 2020 plus after the coronavirus. They're things that you can use and continue to use afterwards by changing a bit. And landlords and investors are downloading these guides more than ever. So we're seeing results where we were perhaps, it was costing us sort of £4 or £5 a lead before the situation. Now they're sort of down to 80p a pound a lead. And when I talk a lead, I'm talking name, number, email address, and download. And the conversations we're having now with landlords are so much more positive because when you think about it, landlords actually want to know what's going on. They want to know what's going on with rents, what happens if their tenant doesn't pay, what's happening with property prices at the moment. So when agents are making calls to these landlords, we are finding that it is a much better response. It's not the normal, I'm too busy, go away. They're at home, they're interested in what's going on, and normally they're actually asking the questions. So I think landlords, definitely there's conversations. Sellers and buyers, yes, you definitely need to be a little bit careful. But again, I think there's questions there. And if you're putting the right e-guides out there, you're going to get in front of the right people, using the ad copy to identify those people. And I'm sure they'll have questions as well.
So just coming back on landlords, how am I identifying whether somebody is a landlord?
Yeah, so this is where you've got to go into the back part of Facebook. You can't really just boost to your local area. And then that's probably where, if you were just putting posts on your page, you would probably have to really look at the messages you're putting out at the moment. But if we go into the back part of Ads Manager, you can target by interests and behaviors. And Facebook will give you a list of suggestions where you can target perhaps people who are interested in property investment, people who are interested in property investment calculators, buy to let. There's loads that you can choose, and the way it works is that people only get put in these interests if by their behaviors and actions on and off Facebook they've done something. So for example, that might be going on a buy to let website recently, or going onto a property investment calculator on a website, or even talking about landlords and buy to let investments in Messenger, and Facebook will look at the keywords you're typing. So it does get it right most of the time, and you can pretty much drop a pin, put those interests in, and you're then only going to get your posts seen by people who've got those interests, and that message is then going to relate to those people. You're not getting in front of the wrong people and upsetting perhaps a few people if you did it just a boosting from your page, for example.
So just coming back on that and thinking about this, when we're back in the market, and we all know who our hot buyers are. One of the things that I know worked well previously is if you don't have a hot buyer, if you don't have a property for that hot buyer, but they want a particular road, you go down to that road, you do a little video, you say, I've got Mr. and Mrs. L and their lovely family who would like to move into this road. If you're thinking of selling, or any friends, families or colleagues looking to sell a property in these roads, please let me know, because it'd be lovely to welcome Mr. and Mrs. L and their lovely family into the area. Yeah. Then you can literally go into managed ads and pinpoint those roads and pinpoint those people.
Yeah, and a lot of the time agents don't realise you can actually get lower than a mile. When you go into Ads Manager or you do it yourself, you probably see you can only get down to 1 mile radius, where you drop a pin, a 1 mile radius. But there are ad hacks which are quite simple to follow, where you can drop a pin and you can fence a location in, and you get it down to 60 feet of a mobile signal. That's how far you can go. And there's people targeting buildings on Facebook when they know how to do it. So with regards to the road situation, you could literally fence in a road or a few roads. Normally we would perhaps say a couple of roads surrounding it, just to give Facebook a little bit of space. And all of a sudden you can put video content, like you said, in front of people where it's hyper relevant to them. So literally they're seeing a video of someone in their road saying they've sold a property, and that you're looking for more properties like that. So really powerful. The other thing you can do following on from that is anyone who watched that video, you can build an audience, and then you've then got yourself an audience of people living in that road, and you can use that later on. So if anyone watched a couple of seconds of that video, you can create an audience, and then when I sell another property nearby, I can show that to that saved audience. So really, really clever stuff.
Fantastic. Too clever for me. That's why you're on here.
It is scary stuff.
Okay. Well, look, that's an interesting question. Should you really, and I know this is a loaded question, but is it really easy to learn, or should you outsource it to somebody?
I might be biased on this, but from my experience, I'm going to say that you've got to look at the time you've got and the hunger to learn, because a lot of people want to learn it very quickly. You can't learn Facebook in one go. It changes all the time. So, one of the reasons that I'm not plugging my membership, I'm just going to mention that the reason I have a membership where it's ongoing and I'm involved is because Facebook changes and I want to tell people what the changes are. That's the only reason why it's a membership like that. You will get some people who feel that they can watch videos and they will learn a lot, and it probably will apply for a certain amount of period, but then it will change. So I think you've got to ask yourself, have I got the time and the hunger to keep myself up to date, and perhaps put time aside each week to set up the adverts, but also create the content. So you're creating content and you're looking after the adverts. And the content actually takes probably more longer than the ads once you know what you're doing, but the two work so well together. So I think really you've got to ask yourself before you think I'm going to do it or outsource it. Have you got the time and the ability to put time aside on a regular basis?
So going back to those e-guides, how long should you leave a campaign to run?
So with an e-guide, if the campaign's an e-guide should after 3 days. So in the first 3 days, Facebook is pretty much looking at the data. It's working out what's going on. And after 3 days, it should start optimizing where it knows who to go after and where to show your adverts. So after 3 days, you can start seeing the results. So you don't really want to run an e-guide advert, say, for 3 days or 4 days. You really want to give it a couple of weeks at least. If you're seeing the results where you're getting regular leads and the data is showing that people are clicking on it, then that's the time to let it run. I don't see any reason to turn one off if you're getting the results, because if you're getting leads, you should be getting conversations. If you're getting conversations and you're dealing with them correctly, you should be getting business later on. So it's I think reading the data after, say, a week, and then deciding if you leave it on or you turn it off.
Okay, so here's an interesting question with what's going on at the moment. So I've pulled all Facebook marketing at the moment for 3 reasons. I want to save costs. I've got fear of putting out something off market in the current climate, and I just don't think people want to hear from estate agents at the moment.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot, and what I'm seeing at the moment is agents are either going silent and dark and not doing any advertising, or they're actually going the opposite way, where they're spending more because they see it as an opportunity. And I think what is important is that you must be visible right now. You've got to benefit from all the extra reach and engagement that we're seeing on Facebook. So Facebook came out in the last week that 70% more activity on Facebook right now. That's unbelievable.
Sorry, you say that figure again?
70% more.
70%.
Yeah, 70% more activity on the whole of Facebook. There's more engagement, there's more reach, and because of that, advert costs are down at least 30 to 40% before we got into this situation. So, people are generating, as we said, leads for as low as 80p or £1, which normally there would be a lot more than that. But as we said before, it's about putting the right content out. It's about putting the right adverts out. It's about amplifying the good stuff that's going on in your community and helping your community. But I think during times like this, reputations are made, and this is a one-off opportunity, as we said before, where you can really benefit from everything that's going on with Facebook, with the extra reach and engagement. But also, it's your time where you can really stand out and become a leader and a voice in your area. So I think it's a one-off opportunity. I know people have budgets, but you don't need to spend a lot at the moment. If you're clever with the advertising and promotion you're doing, you can get a lot of organic reach. So some of the stuff being done at the moment is free. It's just about putting some time and content out there, but then it's just about promoting the stuff that's working with a bit of budget behind it. And it might be that it's actually helping your community rather than actually generating leads. So yeah, definitely time to be spending a little bit of money on Facebook.
Okay. Is there a certain amount you should have in your budget? Should you be spending £10 a day, £100 a day, going absolutely bananas, or just relying on the organic?
I don't think you can ever just rely on your organic, because of the problem with that is that often, as we said before, only a small proportion of people will ever see your most important posts from your business page. Yes, you might get some organic reach and some brand awareness by doing some clever posts and clever sharing, but really you're not going to be getting in front of the people you can get in front of in Ads Manager by sort of really targeting in people that are further down the stream or the river, people that are nearer to moving, or people that are more likely landlords. With the lead generating adverts, those tend to on those have to be spending £5 a day, just as a guide. If you want to generate name, numbers and email addresses from guides that you're putting out, you are going to have to be spending £5 a day. Otherwise, the quality of the leads can be affected. So on the e-guide adverts, which are known as lead adverts, if anyone wanted to know what the objective was that we were using on that, they're called lead adverts, where people can fill in a form and they don't even actually have to type anything. It auto-populates with their name, number and email address. But those adverts, you sort of have to spend around about £5 a day to make sure it's being seen by enough people, but also the quality, you're getting in front of the low-hanging fruit. For Facebook will put you in front of those people first of all. The other posts, which just literally putting a bit of money behind posts which are doing well, you don't need a lot. If something is getting a lot of organic reach, just putting a little bit of money behind it will get it sort of into snowball effect on Facebook. So it's sort of a rolling snowball where it will speed it up. So you could perhaps put a post out which has gone viral or got a lot of organic reach, and then you put a little bit of money behind that on that. But it is a difficult subject with budgets. You do need to have money put behind at least a couple of lead generating adverts perhaps, and then you need to perhaps have a little bit of money put behind retargeting, but that's a whole rabbit hole we could go down talking about that.
Okay, I'll bring it back. So for people like me, you don't have a clue. Okay, so if I want to generate more buyer leads from Facebook, what are our options? I'd like to use Facebook more after reducing our portal exposure, or maybe I'm thinking of coming off Rightmove now, Zoopla and on the market. Should I? And should I just focus on Facebook and video?
I think the first thing to consider is if you are going to be using Facebook to replace a portal, you need to have a strategy in place. You can't just put properties on your Facebook page and boost them and think you're going to get the same number of leads that you got from perhaps the portal. If you have a strategy in place, and I'll run through a few ideas which I've been talking to some agents about, there's a good chance that you will generate regular leads. The first thing you need to consider is that the type of platform Facebook is. So unlike the portals where people go knowing the price, the location, where they want to live, and they want to see results straight away, with Facebook, it's more of a discovery platform. So people go on there to engage, learn with family and friends, and often they're a lot earlier in the process. So because Facebook's very good at predicting what people are doing next, you'll get in front of a lot of people who are earlier in the journey. So with that in mind, this is where retargeting comes back in. You can get in front of people. You will get some people on Facebook who will view properties straight away, but most of the people engaging with your advert are going to be people perhaps who aren't quite ready to view properties, but Facebook has identified them as people who might very soon. So you're going to have to learn, this is where I'm getting to, you're going to have to learn how to retarget and build those audiences, or get someone to do it for you on that. The other couple of things to bear in mind is we do all hold a lot of data as agents. So we have our applicants registered. We know people are thinking of moving out of town from valuations. You're going to have to learn how to import that into Facebook and get your adverts shown to those people as well, because that's going to be a great way to generate leads using Facebook. And I would say finally, one of the most powerful things you can do is re-educate your buyers in your town that your properties are going to be going on your Facebook page before they go on the websites or the portals. So, you know, there's agents, as you know, Stephen, in Australia and America who use their Facebook page and do pre-portal listings. And all they're doing is when they get that go ahead, is it goes on their Facebook page with a video or whatever saying that this property's coming on, it hasn't hit the portals yet. You've got 3 days to get in touch if you'd like more information. And don't forget to like our page to hear about properties before they hit the portals before. And by doing that, you're getting people to come to your Facebook page, like your Facebook page, and you're re-educating them that's what's happening. And agents in America and Australia are selling properties that way. You know, a lot of properties, and I think that's where we as an industry have to try and get agents to do the same.
Okay, so couple of final questions, or somebody has written in to say you did a great video tutorial on an ad campaign for landlords. It's generated 40 leads. This agent's invited them out for a coffee to discuss their portfolio, but hasn't converted it. Any tips? So
yeah, I'm sure you've probably got some ideas on this as well, but from my point and with regards to my side of things in regards to Facebook, I'd say staying top of mind and getting back in front of them on a regular basis is just as important as getting that lead at the beginning. So with Facebook, you know, you're going to get that lead from a landlord, but often they might be happy, they might have a tenant in their property, they might be getting their rent, but you've done the first bit of hard work, is that you've got them to notice you and your brand, and you perhaps provided them with a bit of value with the e-guide. Now you need to nurture them, where you're going to have to put more value in front of them, perhaps by email, perhaps phone calls, or retargeting them through Facebook and staying top of mind. So you're taking them through that journey of know, like, and trust. But I'm sure you probably have some ideas, hopefully, Stephen.
No, that's why I asked you on here. So you know, so I think it's a great question. You know, that's my favorite question to ask a landlord: is this your only property, or is it part of a larger property empire? If they say, you know, yes, it's part of a larger property empire, well, when was the last time your letting agent offered to take you for a coffee to maximize your investment? Never. Are you interested in maximizing your investment? Yes. Okay, great. So you've got the coffee, which is fantastic. So you're now on their radar. But maybe what I would say, take it further now, is can you, you know, do you want me to come and walk around your property and do a property MOT? We've got a 20 list of questions that we ask you, or, you know, when we go through to see whether, you know, you're getting the rental uplift that you deserve, but also, are you compliant? So that's what I would be looking to do.
Yeah, love it.
To convert.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't see any comments, so I don't know if anybody's commented, whether anyone's got any questions, or whether I should just say thank you so much, Mr. Long, for answering all the questions that we've had.
That's no problem. So I think there was only a couple of questions. I think the only one which I can see was Mark asked was, how do I put a Facebook widget on my website, which is a Facebook pixel? So just really quickly on that, Mark, is you can get access to your Facebook pixel through Ads Manager. If you don't know how to do this, get in touch with me and I'll send you a video. But once you're in Ads Manager, Facebook will give you a little bit of script which is unique to yourself. So it's just like a little bit of code which you can send to your web developer, and they'll put it into the back part of your website, into your header or your footer. And what that means is that anyone that comes to your website, you can track and you can retarget. So, you know, one of the things which I think estate agents don't do enough is actually get back in front of people, be on their website searching for property, because half of those people, or probably more, won't even contact you. So you don't know who they are, but at least you can stay in front of them, showing properties on a regular basis after they leave your website. Okay,
lovely. Any other questions?
I think that's all of them, but if anyone, if I've missed any or we've missed any, just you know, get in touch. I'll be glad to reply.
Okay, well, look, thank you very much. Really appreciate your time. I know you're an incredibly busy man because you've got another one this afternoon, and I know you're doing another webinar tomorrow. So, for people to get a hold of you, best places.
Yeah, if you're not part of my free Facebook group, jump into that. That's Facebook ads and lead generation for estate agents. It's free to join. Loads of agents in there. We share stuff in there that's working for us, but also other agents sharing ideas. And you can reach out to me in there, and I'll always reply.
Lovely. For everybody else, I'm going to try and do this regularly with solicitors, mortgage brokers, people in the industry that can help your business. So if you can comment below, if there's anybody in particular that you want, that you feel that can help you and add value, please let me know. If you also be kind enough to like, and share, that would be absolutely amazing. So thanks very much, Paul. Appreciate your time. I'm off to my stomach's rumbling, so go and grab some lunch before I go again. Got a 2 o'clock today, 3 o'clock today, 3:30. And 5 o'clock. So busy afternoon. So thanks everybody for tuning in and for watching. Really appreciate it. Have a good afternoon. Stay safe. And thank you again. Cheers, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.